What's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Sophia Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck was actually suggested to me by one of my patrons, Braxton. And this deck is a super cool deck because Odd Eyes can basically use every single summoning mechanic in the game, which is awesome to be able to summon out your copy of Sophia using all of your really cool Odd Eyes cards. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name screwed through a single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. And definitely give Braxton some love down in the comments down below for suggesting such an awesome deck. So let's get straight on into this, guys. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Sophia, Goddess of Rebirth. This card is absolutely insane and the main boss monster of the deck that we're trying to summon. This card is super easy to summon in this deck and has a really awesome summoning requirement that it cannot be normal summoner set. It must be special summoned from our hand by banishing one face-up Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, and XZ monster from anywhere on the field and cannot be special summoned by other ways, which is super cool to get this card on the field. And this card's special summon cannot be negated, and when this card is special summoned, you banish all other cards from both players' hands, fields, and graveyard, and cards and effects cannot be activated in this card's response to this card's activation, which is really cool to be able to just instantly get this card on the field because Odd Eyes can summon every single summoning mechanic to the field in this particular deck. We then play 3 copies of Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon. This card is a really good searcher for the deck that has the ability that you can pay 500 light points, discard this card, and then add 1 level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect. We then play 3 copies of Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. Arc Pendulum Dragon is a really good 3 in the deck for its scale effect that if an Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed by battle by card effect, you can special summon 1 Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, which is a great effect to just help you swarm the board so we can start getting our materials to make our copy of Sophia. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon is a really good 1-of in the deck, and you only really need a single copy of this card, but it's a great 1-of to help you get searches, and it's just a really cool card. We then play 2 copies of Odd Eyes Persona Dragon. Persona Dragon is a really good 2 in the deck because this card is a walking negate because it has the ability at once per turn, quick effect, you can target a face-up monster on the field that was special summoned from the extract and it has its effects negated until the end of the turn, which is a super simple effect but really effective. We then play 3 copies of Skullcrabat Joker. Skullcrabat Joker is extremely important in this deck, and it's basically the Stratos of the deck that when this card is normal summoned, you can add a Perform Pal, Magician Pendulum monster, or an Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand, which is great to get the exact card that you need. We then play a single copy of Monkey Board. You can only play 1 copy of Monkey Board currently, but this card is a great searcher for the deck, but you can only play a single copy of this card. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Seer. Odd Eyes Seer is extremely good in the deck for its scale effect that you can target a Perform Pal or Odd Eyes card in your graveyard and add it to your hand and then destroy this card. And since it does destroy itself, if you have a copy of Arc Pendulum on the field, you'll also get a special summon, so you get a grab from grave and you get the effect to be able to special summon an additional Odd Eyes, which is really good. And if you grab something like Revolution Dragon, which is the main target that you're going to be using for Odd Eyes Seer, you'll actually get an additional search, which is really good. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Synchron. Odd Eyes Synchron is a great 1-of in the deck to be able to help you synchro summon into all sorts of different cards and is a definite 1-of in the build. We then play a single copy of Perform Pal Celestial Magician. We do play a small Pendulum Magician package in this deck, and so this card helps out a lot to be able to use because it is a Pendulum Magician while also being a Perform Pal card, so it's really good in this deck. This card has some absolutely crazy effects that during your main phase, if this card is normal or special summoned this turn, you can apply the following effects for the rest of the turn based on the other monsters that you currently control. If you control a fusion, this card can attack directly. If you control a synchro, then your opponent cannot activate monster effects. If you control an XZ, this card's attack becomes double its original attack. And if you control a pendulum, during the end phase, you get to add a pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, which is a great effect. We then play a single copy of Harmonizing Magician. Harmonizing Magician is a really good one of the deck to be able to Pendulum summon to your side of the field, because when you do Pendulum summon this card to your side of the field, you're going to get to special summon an additional Pendulum Magician from your deck to your side of the field, which is great for this deck to just instantly get a copy of, say, Purple Poison Magician, which we do play as a one of in this deck. This card is super good to summon off your copy of Harmonizing Magician. It's just a really good card. We then also play a single copy of Noble Dragon Magician. Noble Dragon Magician is a great one of to be able to go into your copy of Meteor Burst Dragon, because it is a level 3 tuner monster, and you can basically use a level 4 plus this card to go into Meteor Burst, which will get your Synchro monster on your side of the field. But this card is super searchable, which is why we just play a single copy. We then play 3 copies of Darkworm. Darkworm is really important for this deck to be able to get to your copy of your gate cards, and it's just a really cool card, because if this card is normal or special summon, you get to add a Supreme King Gate monster from your deck to your hand, and if this card's in the graveyard, you control no monsters, then you can special summon this card to your side of the field, which is a great effect to just instantly get this card on the field. We then play a single copy of Gate Zero. Gate Zero is extremely important for this deck because of its monster effect that once per turn, you can target one other face-up card that you control, destroy both it and this card, and if you do, special summon one Dragon-type Fusion or Synchro monster from your X deck, but its attack and defense becomes 0, and it has its effect negated. Also, it cannot be used as a material for a Synchro or XZ play, which is not that big of a deal, because basically all you're doing is trying to get a material on your side of the field to summon out your copy of Sophia, which is extremely important to be able to use your copy of Gate Zero to be able to get that monster that you're missing onto your side of the field, like a copy of Vortex Dragon, so that you can go in for all of your plays and go in for your copy of Sophia. We then play a single copy of Supreme King Gate Infinity. Gate Infinity is in here because sometimes you will open up your copy of Gate Zero and just gives us an additional target in the deck to search off our copy of our Darkworm, and it's just a really good card overall, just in case you need to get a copy of an XZ Dragon or a Pendulum monster from your X deck to your side of the field, which is just really, really good. Also, if your copy of your Gate monsters actually get destroyed, they put themselves in the Pendulum scales, which is really nice. We then play a single copy of Astrograph Sorcerer, one of the most powerful Pendulum monsters ever created. It's a definite one of in this particular deck to be able to use, because it helps out a lot in this deck to be able to just get this card on the field. We then play 2 copies of Pendulum Graph Dragon. Pendulum Graph Dragon is a definite 2 of the deck because it's our ritual target to be able to use for our copy of Sophia. It's extremely important in this deck to be able to summon out to your side of the field to be able to go in for your copy of Sophia. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is extremely good in this deck to be able to send your copy of Darkworm from your deck to the graveyard so that you can special summon it back from the grave and get that search. We then play a single copy of Dragon Shrine. Dragon Shrine is also a definite one of in this deck to be able to send your copy of Darkworm from the deck to the graveyard to be able to use just like your copy of Foolish Burial. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Fusion. This is just in case you want to make your copy of Vortex Dragon, and it's a really good card in this particular build. You only need a single copy of this card, but it's still a really good one of. We then play 2 copies of Duelist Alliance. Duelist Alliance is a great searcher in this particular build because if there's a card in the Pendulum zone, you get to add a Pendulum monster or a Pendulum spell or trap from your deck to your hand, which is really good for this particular deck to get to the exact card that you need. We then play 3 copies of Spiral Flame Strike. Spiral Flame Strike is a really cool searcher for the deck because it has the ability to let you add 1 level 7 Odd Eyes monster from your deck to your hand, or face up level 7 Odd Eyes Pendulum monster from your X deck, which is a great effect to be able to use to get the exact card that you need. And why I'm only playing 2 copies of Pendulum Graph Dragon is because you can actually search it with this card, which is really cool. We then also play 3 copies of Pendulum Call. Pendulum Call is extremely important for this deck to be able to get to your copies of Harmonizing Magician and really good cards like that. And it's just really good to get you a double search off this card. We then play 3 copies of Sky Iris. Sky Iris is just really good overall in this particular deck to get you multiple searches, and it's just a awesome card in this particular build because it has the ability you can target 1 other face-up card that you control, destroy it, and if you do, you get to add an Odd Eyes card from your deck to your hand, which is great to be able to search out the exact card that you need from your deck to your hand with this card. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Beyond the Pendulum. Beyond the Pendulum is a great searcher for this deck and a definite one of in the build. I almost played 2 copies of this card, but I feel like 1 is totally fine. We then play a single copy of Access Code. Access Code's a definite one of in the deck because this card can come out absolutely massive and just end games. We then play a single copy of Appaloosa. Appaloosa is really good to be able to make on your side of the field to give you multiple monster negates just in case you need to make this card. Also, the link arrows are fantastic for this deck because they're 3 down arrows, which is really nice. We then play a single copy of Selene. Selene just works extremely well in any Pendulum deck because this card is just really good to be able to bring back your spellcaster monsters from the graveyard if they do go to the graveyard, which is just really, really good to help you link climb into cards like Access Code. We then play a single copy of Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn is just really good to be able to spin stuff and a fantastic one-of in this deck. Play a single copy of IP Masquerade and to be able to make the copy of Unicorn during the opponent's turn. 1 copy of the Hieratic Seals because we are playing an Odd Eyes deck, so this card is really good to be able to summon to your side of the field and give you a spin. So this card is a definite one-of in this build. Playing a single copy of Time Star Magician. Time Star Magician is one of the cards I usually use to go into Sophia, but this card is great to give you a search from the deck, so this card is really, really good. We can play a single copy of Anai's Absolute Dragon. Absolute Dragon is absolutely amazing in this deck because it has the ability that if this XZ summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon an Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck except another copy of this card, which will get you the exact material that you need if you're missing one to your side of the field. And it's super easy to make because it just takes any 2 level 7s to make this card. We then play a single copy of Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon. We play the copy of Odd Eyes Rebellion Dragon because we're going to immediately overlay our copy of Rebellion Dragon Overload on top of it. And this card is just basically an OTK piece that can attack 3 times, which is really good. You make it just like Utopia the Lightning, so it's a definite one-of in the deck. We then play a single copy of Meteor Burst. Meteor Burst is really good because it has the ability that when this card is special summoned, you can target 1 card in your Pendulum zone and special summon it. Also, this card cannot attack for the rest of the turn, which is not that big of a deal because you're basically just using this card to get you an additional monster on your side of the field, like your copy of Gate 0, to be able to use its effect, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Metaphys Horus. Metaphys Horus is extremely easy to put on your side of the field in this deck, and it's just a really good one-of overall to be able to make in this particular build. We then play 2 copies of Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. I do play 2 copies of Vortex Dragon in this particular build because we do use one of them normally to go into our copy of Sophia, and I like to have that backup one in the extra deck just in case we need to make another one in this particular build. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played a Sophia Odd Eyes deck before, you definitely should give this deck a try. It's really fun. It's very easy to summon your copy of Sophia to your side of the field, and definitely make sure you have those dual terminal ones, which just look absolutely amazing for this particular build. So anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can come part of our notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.